Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see you. It's about 2:01 a.m. So we're in Saturday morning and the stars are out. They're congregating around me for some reason tonight. So that's just how it is. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, I had an interesting person say wrote in wrote into my Gmail account and was talking to me about the Cowboys, and I wished I knew more about the Cowboys, but I don't know about their linebackers and who's gotten hurt because really we don't watch it here. We watch Grit TV, which is all cowboys and Indians all the time. So that's pretty much what we do here. And that that makes Brand happy, my roommate, and keeps me out of trouble. We can both watch something. Right now, I'm recording on my little 10-inch uh, laptop, so things are kind of compressed down a little bit. I don't know what I look like on your set. Hopefully, I'm a lot bigger than that. Now I got a little public service announcement. Okay, you're going along and your battery is just doing fine. You're driving your car every day and your battery's doing fine. This happened to my aunt, Aunt Sandy. And okay, you go park your car over at your daughter's house and you leave it for a week. And now the clock's pulling power, the radio stations are pulling power to keep the stations on the ones you selected. So it's got a little power it's pulling. And you go to start it after a week and a half, and it's dead. Now, that's not something that we can really fool around with. But what I've done, what I did, is I automatically thought, well, we'll put solar charger on it. and she can put a solar charger in on her dash and hook it to her cigarette lighter. She's got a cigarette lighter plug that she charges her cell phone off of. And go like that. Now, that's what I thought was the best idea. But then I got to thinking, now, how old is that battery? Uh, is it going to go dead the next time the temperature drops below 32? Because she's up in Washington State. And they still get cold weather up there. And, well, I wonder if that battery is at the end of its rope or the end of its life, its useful life, for her to be running around in. So this is something I've ordered her a solar charger for her battery that she can plug into her cigarette lighter port, and she can trickle charge the battery. Because I said, why don't you just buy a trickle charger and plug it in? And she said it's too far where she parks her car at her daughter's. It's too far to run an extension cord and everything. Apparently, it's more than 100 feet or so, and it's not something they want to invest a bunch of time and money in extension cord and trickle chargers. So I said, I'll buy a solar charger for you, because she bought me a TV the other day, a little uh, portable 10-inch TV that I use all the time. So I wanted to pay her back for that, because that was just a nice deal that she did. So anyway, I got to thinking about this battery, and if she was my wife or my concern, I would go ahead and put a new battery in that car. Because, if you run a battery all the way down to where it has no power in it whatsoever, you have virtually killed that battery. Now, I don't know if she was getting a click click. I didn't discuss that with her. She just said it was dead. So I assumed that it was dead. And that's not a good thing for a battery to go all the way down like that. They don't come back regular, up to their full state after they've gone dead like that. So I talked to her today about just replacing the battery. I mean, the solar charger's bought and will be there tomorrow, and that's all well and good, and she can have that. And let me get a piece of ice. She can have that, and when she is at her daughter's house and staying for long periods of time, she can use it, and it can help keep the battery topped off. So, good deal all the way around. But we need to think about new battery. She was talking about maybe tires, because she doesn't know how old her battery is. She doesn't know how old her tires are. And I want to help her all I can. And so hopefully she'll be able to figure out the charger. And the little lights, it's got little lights that tell whether it's charging or there's a short in the battery. Amazon has all kinds of chargers. I went with one that was $27. They've got them up to $80. But I really didn't. I mean, I didn't want to have a thing that had a solar panel that was so big she couldn't just set it in her seat beside her or set it in the back seat and it not be just a great big old hunk of glass and steel. So that's why I went with the $27 one. It's supposed to put out 10 watts of power, and it's supposed to charge even on a cloudy day. Now that's probably not a real cloudy day, but somewhat cloudy day. It's supposed to give a good little bit of a charge. So that'll be something that she can have, and hopefully it'll work good for her. And I think that good things are going to come out of this interaction with my aunt. I haven't had a whole lot of interaction with my aunt, but she is just a delight to talk to, and she's always upbeat, and she's got to know some things about her car, but it sounds like she could use some more help with it, and that's where I know a lot about cars. At least I know enough to know when to change a battery and when to change the tires. And when you start seeing those little cracks in around your tread, it's time to think about changing them. Yeah, I guess uh, who is it that does tires everywhere? I don't know, but they won't do it if the tire's over. They won't fix it if the tire's over 10 years old. And there's a way you can tell there's a date on the tire, and you can tell how old the tire is. And she's just gonna have to spend a little bit of money on her car. I mean, it might be just that time of the season that she has to spend a little money on her car because she doesn't need to be, thank God for cell phones, but she doesn't need to be stranded out on the side of the road. You know, when was married to my wife, like I said, I would have put a new battery in her truck or Suburban every 2 years religiously, and then put the battery that was in her Suburban in the boat so that we had good batteries in the boat, in the Suburban, and then whatever else needed a battery, it got a fresh battery too. So I was keeping her with a fresh battery so that she didn't have to worry about that click, 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 click sound when you try to start it up. And then also, you're looking at, well, what if the alternator's not putting out enough power? What if it's going? An alternator's only good for about 120,000 miles. Now, they'll go longer than that, but about 120,000, if you get that out of an alternator, you're doing good. The alternator charges the battery, and it might be that she's got a little problem with her alternator, and that's causing her battery to be low and not charged enough. And so there's that point that she needs to look at. So I told her that O'Reilly's, Ricky was telling me that O'Reilly's will change the batteries out for free, which, some of these batteries are locked in pretty, pretty securely in the car. And if they'll do it for free, that's a good thing. And I I would heartedly suggest that be the case to do. Well, I'm back. I just had to have a little service done on me from the CNA, and unfortunately, it had to be done behind me, so I had to shut the camera off because we don't want any pictures of any of the staff and everything. I've been warned, so in fact, they really don't even want me capturing their voices, so I gotta play by the rules. So I'm trying to do that. But so to wrap it all up, if your battery goes dead, where you got nothing, and you're able to charge it and bring it back up, it is weakened. It might do the job, but it has lost some of its capacity. So be leery of a battery that's gone dead. Now, a battery that's still clicking, click, 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 and will turn on the lights, well, that's not entirely dead, so you can hope that that one will have little, if no damage done to it, and you can bring it back up without much trouble. So do that and take care of that kind of stuff. And for my Aunt Sandy, I'm glad I got to help. It's given me something else to think about. And I love her. I love her for that. And it could be everything's just fine with her battery. She just left something plugged in too long. And it drained it down. Thank God we have cell phones nowadays. I don't know why I've got such a red tint considering there's blue lights shining behind me. Hmm. I don't know. But she pushed out my shelf and I got to push it back. There. But so anyway, I'm gonna leave you with that thought. check your tires, make sure there are no cracks in them, make sure they have good tread, and if you're having trouble with your battery, take a look at your terminals. If they've got a bunch of growth on them, that nasty ass buildup of, I don't know, electrical blue stuff that they get, take some baking soda and wash those off and get them cleaned up. And check your oil, check your air filter, and you'll be good to go. You know, put water in your little water tank that, you know, there's your windshield wiper fluid. Your put windshield wiper fluid in your windshield wipers, because now it's not going to freeze. So you can do that. And I hope everything goes good for Sandy and for you. And for that, I'll leave you with it. And I'm gonna try to get some rest myself. And Godspeed to you. God bless you. Everyone. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Good night.